let's see what Fee has to say.
What's up, you guys? It's FeeDX. Bandai Namco just put out the version 1.12 patch notes, and I don't think it's very good news. So I've given a quick summary in the notes below if you want to just skim that. We'll save you time from reading all this. But I want to talk about the updates themselves, talk about my thoughts, and then kind of the roadmap.
I like also how everyone used to say that the people criticizing the game are just bad and should drop the game, and now everyone is also on the bandwagon, but obviously they will not say, yeah, we were wrong. No, they will pretend as nothing happened.
Of where Tekken is going, leading into Season 2, and then where my channel will be going in response because of these changes. So, quick cliff notes of these changes. New Battle Pass 30th anniversary. You get 100 free coins, 600 coins in the Premium Pass. Made Outfit Pack, which I'm a little disappointed and underwhelmed by. I feel like I've seen modders put out better made costumes. Maybe it's just the whack color.
Wallahi, this looks so dog. What? What is this, man?
But I feel like they could have done a better job here. Apparently, there are 5 special ghost battles to earn special character art in-game. I also have a problem with that because if you start the game after Season 2 drops, like this update expires, are you going to not get that fan art? You know what I mean? So I think limited edition character art, especially if you're trying to reward fan art, is kind of rough as well. The one good change I'm a big fan of, though, is the tournament settings. If you ever...
When game option tournament settings is set on, individual settings can be customized if you don't wanna. Yeah, okay. I mean, whatever, okay.
Watch like offline tournaments during the last Tekken World Tour. There will be times where players will rematch and it goes to the same stage, and you're not supposed to do that with the tournament rules. So they're programming these rules in game, but also with like individual configurable options, right? So the preset settings will probably apply to the current Tekken World Tour. Like things like disabling the pause menu or making you hold the button to pause. Confirmation for rematches, like a little dialogue versus just instantly rematching. And things like rematch with random stage, which is, again, part of the Tekken World Tour rules.
What does he mean with a little dialogue? Wait a minute. Disable intro, outro skipping. What? Configurable items, fixed rule, blah blah blah, disable menu set on, pause menu activation, show confirmation pop up for rematches, shows a confirmation dialogue when selecting rematch to prevent accidental rematches from button mashing. Oh yeah, that was the only, oh my god, that was the only thing that was so important, was that when they accidentally rematch, now we need to figure that out, how they can, oh my god. Okay.
Now, one thing I would like to see as like a wish list thing is like, what if like during tournament settings, you can't play online, you can't earn trophies, but you can play with the DLC character costumes, like the legacy costumes from old Tekken.
Thank you.
You know what I mean? I think that would be a good wish list type setting that would allow tournaments to be more interesting to watch, because there are so many old Tekken costumes that people just can't wear because they're locked behind DLC, like the old Steve costumes. So I hope they consider adding like an exhibition option like that. I know the concern would be income, obviously, but anyways. Now for the bad news. Well, they're doing some rank match updates, so that's a good thing. But now for the bad news. They had balance adjustments planned for this patch, which I didn't expect. I had a hunch they would save the updates for Season 2, but they had balance adjustments planned. They didn't go through with them because from the time of this video is being recorded, there are 2 big tournaments in less than a week. And I do support this, right? 32,000 euro prize for the EU Tekken Cup Finals. I believe in stability for competitive.
You know what I don't understand though? So, okay, the balance patch drops and then immediately you need to play tournament without no adjustment to the balance patch. What? They want to give every character a new move. You can do full crouch mix up after heat dash. They want to do general balance changes, like, I don't know, like as a competitor, I would be a bit pissed. Like normally you should have like at least 3 months or 4 months so you know the script with the new meta.
Players who are like spending the most time grinding the game and should be respected, because I think the competitive scene does.
The patch should be literally out right now. Like right fucking now. As I'm sitting here, I should be downloading the patch now and we would need to adjust to the new changes. But not in fucking 2 months, bro.
Bring a lot of eyes and attention and hype to Tekken. So I think this respect for the players is a good thing. For reference, in the Tekken 7 Tekken World Tours, they used to drop the season updates right in the middle of the season. So like after Evo, but before the finals. So there would be huge meta shakeups right as people were in like post-peak competition season, but it was still in competition season. So I do support this philosophy in general. What I don't support is that there was apparently going to be a mid-March update in version 1.113. 1.113. Version 1.13 was going to be a pre-season 2 update, but they are not putting the balance changes there either, with the rationale that season 2 will be coming shortly after. And I think this is a big fumble. This whole paragraph is just brutal because
regarding future character move behavior fixes and balance adjustments. Balance adjustments in version 1.12.1 have been postponed in consideration of major offline tournaments scheduled for late February in Europe and Japan. Additionally, as we plan to release Season 2 update with extensive balance adjustments this spring, we will not implement any balance adjustment in the March one, which precedes this update. Information about the Season 2 launch timing, general direction of balance adjustments, and ranked match changes. Next DLC character and more will be announced during Tekken Talk Live events scheduled for February and March. The February Tekken Talk Live will be held on the following date. So if we are lucky, yeah, then maybe the game is gonna get a bit better, but then the new character releases, and that new character is probably gonna be a bit broken again, and something is gonna be fucked up, and they need to fix that, and then they don't do it for the next 3-4 months. It's gonna be the same old fucking song like always, so...
While we should respect the pro players and their grind, I think people are starving for changes, man. People are jumping to different games. You hear it all the time, people talking about virtual...
This is a very important point. People are starving for changes in the game. So why can they not just keep on playing the game if it is so good? And if it's apparently 5 times better than Tekken 7, it's because it's not so good. That just has to be said one time from someone that can say whatever he wants, and I can. This game is horse shit, and the people that keep playing it just play it because they think maybe it's gonna be better and we go through this shitty phase. They literally acknowledge that it's a shitty phase. But when you used to talk with most of these big YouTubers in the last months, even in the last 2 months, they would gaslight you and say, no, the game is amazing, you can sidestep better. And yeah, but how is it then that everyone is yearning for changes and dropping the game if it's so good?
Fighter, people talking about Marvel Rivals. There are lots of games for
Makes
people
no
to play.
sense.
Not giving any like gameplay updates in that time is brutal. And this is coming from someone, me, who is a big fan of conservative patching. I've talked about it for most of the season. I think that conservative patching is cool because it lets people develop more interesting options, understandings, and like gameplay. Emergent gameplay comes out if you give people time with the game, right? So I'm generally a fan of less updates. However, the off season is the perfect time to test these updates. You look at how League of Legends does it. As soon as the ranked season ends, people don't have points on the line and all that. It's the perfect chance to test huge sweeping changes, right? Now, to be fair, it seems like Season 2 will drop with a bit of time before the official tour starts, but I really think this is a big ball fumble where there's no tournaments to watch, there's no professional gameplay happening because it will have just concluded with the end of February. Perfect time to drop a bunch of balance updates, test them out, and see what people think. Gauge how effective these changes are and see if the developers are on point or not. I think it's a huge fumble. I'm really, really disappointed that the mid-March update will not implement the balance changes that I didn't even know were going to be there. I thought Season 2 might drop mid-March. Now, with the release of this new Battle Pass, it actually does kind of tease the Season 2 release date. If we had to guess, the Battle Pass is usually 60 days, right? So the patch is happening today, February 17th. That means April 17th might be the release date for Season 2.
April 17th until they fix the game. Wow, that's a long time. That's a very long time.
2 months away? That is so insane to me. Now, for what it's worth, again, I'm a fan of less frequent sweeping adjustments to give players time to develop their characters and develop tech and system understanding and things like that. But
sorry, I correct myself. You are right. I'm not a fucking shill or something. 2 months left till they try to fix the game. Try.
History of monthly updates since Tekken 7 or Tekken 8 launched. And I think that's a good thing. I think monthly updates at the least are a good thing. Quality of life changes, system changes, things like that. I do generally agree with the idea of less balanced patches for the reasons I've stated. However, I'm repeating myself at this point. No tour, off season, it's the perfect time to do it. I'm so disappointed. Let's move on. When will we hear about season 2? They're going to have a Tekken talk a week from the time this video comes out. They're talking about the season 2 launch timing. They're going to talk about their vision of the balance.
This battle pass today is 30 levels shorter and 20 less days to finish. When you see it in game, it says 40 days instead of 60 days. The mark is incorrect as VDX video was before the patch today. So is that a bug or why is that? Why is it shorter?
Direction and adjustments. I think there's going to be a lot of attention around then. Ranked match changes, and I'm praying this is like a elo/MR system like Street Fighter's doing. Pro players like Knee, Ulsan, Edge, tons of people have been tweeting how ranked is just, there's no incentive to stay in it. Pro players are farming like the max rank points, like 999, but they have no leaderboard to fight for. There's just no reason for them to stay in the game, and I think that's really disappointing. Again, because the highest level of play, I think, is what keeps people engaged in the game. Obviously,
Bro, I be honest with you, like this grinding to 99999, yeah, when I heard that people do that, I was like, damn, you sad motherfuckers, you don't know what to do and you make up like goals that make no sense at this point. Like, who cares if you get 999 on GOD at the moment? That's some sad fucking bastard shit, bro. Like, no offense, like I get it, you gotta do something, like you get bored maybe, or you don't know what to do, you do 999, but I don't even think it was intended from the developers to do that, this 999. They thought you just get GOD and then that's it.
Casual fan base really matters and is the lifeblood of the game, like locals, things like that. But having footage of the pro players, having them stay at the top of their game, having people fight over leaderboard spots, I think is a lot of hype that is just being missed out on. And then finally, this Tekken Talk will talk about the next DLC character. Now, there's a vague hope that maybe season 2 comes sooner, just because historically the Tekken Talks are like a week or two before a major update. But again, we have the 60-day battle pass that they're just releasing. So I really do think, if we had to guess, April 17th will be the season 2 date. If we're lucky, it will be sooner. Wow, I'm just extremely disappointed by the lack of balance updates. And again, in my videos before, every update before, I've been pretty consistent with this. I believe in less sweeping changes more often. I believe in less often sweeping changes. I believe minimal patching lines up with my philosophy for like competitive game development. I prefer that. I have supported that the devs respect pro play and want to do a bunch of changes at the start of the tour and then minimal changes throughout the rest of the tour to really let the meta settle. I've supported that. I'm consistent in that.
You know why I would say I don't support it though, when they don't do sweeping changes after, like, when the big tournaments are over? First of all, people are like tired of waiting. They don't know what to do with the game, and the game is unenjoyable to play. And pro level gameplay is uninteresting because Yoshimitsu and Nina are so broken. Like, when they win the game or when they win a tournament fight, you can't really appreciate it, or maybe you even go take a shit, come back, and hope you see some other character. Like, it's really uninteresting. Another point is that there needs to be sweeping changes because Tekken 8 Season 1 needs to be treated like an arcade release. Like, you know how you get little changes in Tekken 7 Season 2 and 3 and whatnot? This is not applicable to Tekken 8 Season 1 because Season 1 is an arcade release and they need to treat it as such and make a huge patch. Like, the way the game changed from arcades for Tekken 7 to console version, I would say even more needs to happen for this game for it to be good for Season 2. Because Season 1 was, I feel like we would just all signed up for a paid beta test. Like, I paid 100 euros for Ultimate Edition, or I got it gifted, but essentially I just did the testing for them, nothing else.
If they go with that framework though, the off-season is a crucial time for big changes. And if Season 2 is dropping on April 17th, that only leaves like 2 or 3 weeks before the tour kicks off at EVO Japan, and I don't think 3 weeks is enough for the meta to settle either.
Whoa, 3 weeks and they want to change heat and a new character. 3 fucking weeks. Damn. You already know people are not gonna shower, they are not gonna look nice, they are gonna be at home, locked in, and trying to get the script, I guess, in the shortest period of time.
So, as much as I've agreed with the decision making thus far to respect pro play and not make sweeping changes that affect the players that much, they're going to have to choose. Are you going to do updates in the off season, or are you going to do it during the pro season? If I had to pick one, it should be the off season. It's the perfect time when casual fans don't have tournaments to watch and would be more excited
got
by
released at
swooping changes
beginning
to the game
of October, and only 6 days later there was Tiger Uppercut tournaments. Yeah, that's fucked up, but you know what is the good part? Because it was Heihachi, no one had the balls to immediately pick him. Now imagine it was like Lucky Chloe or some easier character, and then you need to fight against that new fucking joint in a tournament after 6 fucking days. OMG.
over and over. So all I have to say last is the season 2...
Bandai doesn't care about pro players. They just need a reason to justify their delay. I think they care about I think they care about the tournament scene because of sponsors and because of the corporate side of things. But they don't care about the people that play it. And they do care truly about people that have enough interest in like customizables and like graffitis that they will spend their money on items in the Tekken shop. This is what the game is designed around, making people pay for stuff. It's like a gacha game a little bit. You know, Tekken is somehow turning into Dokkan Battle.
Changes better be big in order to bring people back, which we can expect it to be, because again, season 1 was kind of like Tekken 8.0, and the 0.0 version of every Tekken is historically extremely different from the mainline game that results from that testing period. So season 2...
Yeah, Dokkan Battle is goated because you already imagine or you already think of something that is like Dokkan when you approach Dokkan. But when I approach Tekken, I don't think like I am a cow now and I go into like to the farmer and then he milks me dry and the farmer is Harada. And then, yeah, so basically what Harada-san is trying to refer to is that we need to increase the casual players because the ones that we already have, they are milked. There's no milk, guys. What are we supposed to do?
There's a lot riding on this. And I try not to be overdramatic. I try not to be sensationalist in the actual content. My thumbnails and titles, of course, are sensationalist. But in the actual content, I try to be pretty level-headed and I try to not be too extreme. But I think there's a lot riding on season 2. With this much delay, this much waiting, with so much competition coming out with other fighting games, Tekken is going to have to really nail this season 2 landing. They're going to really have to nail the Tekken World Tour. Otherwise, it's a tough time to be a Tekken fan, man.
Otherwise, what? Or maybe the evil haters that were criticizing Tekken 8 2-3 months ago were not that evil. Maybe they had a point. Maybe just a little bit. Let's watch Lotus Asakura first. Let's see what this guy has to say. This guy is a mid-level player. He's like around skill level, I would say, like Bushin Tekken King.
What's good, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back.
That's why I wanna hear what he has to say, because he's a mid-level player. I am interested what like mid-level players have to say. He's the typical person that the Tekken developers actually want to attract to. He plays like some Tekken here and there, then he plays Dragon Ball, Sparking Zero, then he plays Street Fighter. He's not too super committed. So let's see how he feels about this joint.
The channel. I'm Lotus Asakura, the one who never knows best, and today's video I'm here to talk to you guys about the lackluster and honestly pretty disappointing update coming to Tekken 8 in version 1.12.01. We're getting a brand new update to the game, and the game is currently on maintenance right now as I'm recording this, and I'm going to try to get this up still quickly tonight. But there's just not a lot of substance in here. It's actually very disappointing, as you can tell by my title. Yeah, let's just jump straight into it. So to start things off, of course, as always, gotta get that Tekken Fight Pass. You know what I mean? And I'm guilty as charged. I always get the Fight Passes. It pays for itself if you buy one, because then you buy one, then it gives you enough coins to get the next one, and so on and so forth. You actually get 700 for the price of 600. Whatever, cool. Some people care about cosmetics, some people don't. I do. If you don't, it is what it is. Moving on, we're also getting a maid outfit pack that's being added. This is Nina in the maid.
But bro, do you really care about this item?
You know, could be better, could be worse. It's whatever. I'll probably end up getting it and using it for some characters, but you know, it's, you know, moving on, there's also the Tekken Fight Lounge where there's 5 new special ghosts that will appear where you get brand new obtainable character panels. These are coming from the Tekken fandom campaign, so this is fan art that's being put in the game. Pretty
I
cool.
think he's a Hoarang player.
Then we have this right here,
not
the
Azuka.
tournament settings feature. We're not going to go into detail about this. Link to these notes will be in the description down below if you want to check it out if you want to check it all out and read it for yourself. But this is really cool quality of life updates for tournament organizers and anybody who's playing the game offline, whether that's a local, a minor, a major, whatever the case may be. Pretty cool. Then we also have this matchmaking update to rank match where they are adjusting to reduce the likelihood of consecutive matches with players where the previous match failed to establish. From my interpretation, this means they're just trying to make it less likely for you to get paired up with somebody who's rage quitting or, you know, disconnecting because of their faulty internet or PC, whatever the case may be. And then we get into the meat and potatoes of this video. So basically, as I already discussed, but you guys could hear, balance adjustments in version 1.12.01 have been postponed in consideration of major official tournaments scheduled for late February in Europe and Japan. So I don't know about you guys, but I wasn't expecting there to be like any major balance adjustments in this patch. I was hoping for some, and it's disappointing that there aren't any. It's even more disappointing to find out that they originally planned to have some and postponed it. Now, here's the thing, okay? It is cool and admirable and honestly respectable that they are doing it out of consideration for these events that are about to take place. I'm actually not familiar with what the event is that's taking place in Japan, but I know that the Tekken Cup finals in Europe are taking place in not too long from now, like a few days from now. And so it's like a big $40,000, I'm sorry, a 40,000 euro tournament, something like that, that's taking place. So it's a pretty big event with a lot of money on the line. So it makes sense that they don't want to drastically change the game right before that event happens. Now, you could argue that the tournament organizers could take it upon themselves to not use the new patch, but then you have to take into consideration, okay,
no
brand new
video
patch drops like a week before this big event. Do you expect players to not update their game and just keep playing on the old patch?
Tommy, when is the main man uploads?
The new patch, and then they have to come to the event and go back to an old patch after
do you upload it?
Adjusting to a bunch of new stuff. And I mean, it just kind of gets things all mucked up and kind of messy, you know? Maybe a super hardcore dedicated player who really wants to win that specific event would like decline to update their game, but then you're letting everyone else get a head start on you. And like, it's only a week, but like, you know what I'm saying? Even still. So like, I get it. That makes sense. It sucks for the general player, right? To not get the new updates, but I respect it. Okay. However, the next two parts are what's truly, I was really just the middle part is what's truly heartbreaking. Additionally, as we plan to release season 2 update with extensive balance adjustments this spring, we will not implement any balance adjustments in version 1.13 scheduled mid-March, which precedes this update. Information about the season 2 launch timing, general direction of balance adjustments and rank match changes, next DLC character, and more will be announced during the Tekken Talk Live event scheduled for February and March. The February Tekken Talk Live will be held on the following date, which is February 25th. And this is where it's just like gut-wrenching, very disappointing, and this is the part where I go on my little mini rant. I'm calm now, but so
Tekken 8 will be likely to be longer than 7 years. It will likely be like 10. That's kind of what the developers said. They plan to have Tekken 8 for a long time.
I try my very best to be understanding, to see the bigger picture, think about things from multiple perspectives, and also acknowledge that I'm not a developer. I have never worked on a video game. I am not a business owner. You know, well, legally I am, right? You know, with YouTube and everything, and I'm self-employed. But you know what I mean? Like I don't own Bandai Namco, you know what I mean, or anything like that. So I try to realize that, or rather, I try to not be impatient. I try to not be entitled and things like that, right? I try to have a certain level of understanding of like timing and, you know, how these things work and everything. And I like to give people the benefit of the doubt, sometimes too much benefit of the doubt. But I just can't really wrap my head around not releasing any adjustments in the mid-March update, because what this means is that
didn't they say they want to be a launch title for the next gen consoles? Yeah, what do you think? The fucking PlayStation 6 is coming out in the next 5 years, or that's impossible?
For February, and you postponed it, and now you're postponing basically the March update, which is essentially going to be nothing.
Yes. You really
like
think Tekken
is shaping up to be
PlayStation 6 comes out that early?
Fight Pass, for the most part, realistically.
Really?
And like I said, quality of life updates here, there, cool.
Okay.
That's dope, I guess. But there's no real like major substance to this, and it's just going to be the same thing all over again next month. And what this means is,
so wait a minute, that means that we can have maybe Tekken 9 by 2027? Is that what you're trying to tell me? Because that literally means we get in 2027 already Tekken 9. That would mean Tekken 8 was only what? 3 years? That's unrealistic, no?
Minimum, we will be waiting 2 more months to get any real change to come to the game, or any change at all, frankly, you know what I'm saying?
I think it's realistic. Maybe 2028. Bro, I can't lie. Sounds so close. I can't wait for Tekken 9. Bro, I am not lying, bro. I am actually so hyped for Tekken 9. I already gave up mentally on this game. Let's think about Tekken 9. What do you think they will do with Tekken 9, bro? You think we will get Tekken Tag Tournament free? I don't think they will do that, you know. Why would Tekken 9 be good, bro? Tekken is fucked. Yeah, maybe they realized, hey guys, we fucked up with Tekken 8. Let's try one last time on Tekken 9 and do it right. Tag needs to be DLC. What? Would you like Tag? I think it would bloat the game too much, to be fair. Bloat the game too much. Busy with what? Let me guess. Bikini Anna showcase showing another one-button character. Battle pass bullshit. Skins. Fix your shit game. Fix the bugs. Game is dying, my man. Do something. No one is playing your game.
Tekken 8 right now is in a state that a lot of players do not find very agreeable. They're not very happy with it. A lot of players are getting burnt out. They're growing weary. They're desperate for change and for this new season. Every single day I get on Twitter, I see people talk about, hey, I got any more of that season 2? Hey, Bandai, Namco, season 2 update? Y'all, anybody got them notes on season 2? And it's just been nothing up to this point. Now, fortunately, we will be getting information on that in basically a week from now. But will that be too little too late for some? Probably. Not everybody, but for some it will be. Because think about it like this, okay? You don't want to drop an update in February that's going to screw with these tournaments that are taking place. Understandable, okay? Disappointing, but understandable. Mid-March basically is going to be a big nothing burger. And what that means is that season 2 is going to, at the earliest, released in April, most likely, right? Especially when you take into consideration like the fight pass thing and like, you know, another 60 days. It's going to release in April. The other problem with that is I believe Tekken World Tour begins May 9th. So not only are you making players wait an additional 2 months for any updates when they're already growing very anxious, very impatient, growing very weary, tired of the current state of the game and everything like that, but you then kick off the major events and give players, we don't know exactly when in April release. It could be the beginning of April. It could be.
Do you think there will be an Israeli fighter in Tekken soon? I be very real with you. If they would do that, obviously you can imagine how unpopular Israel is in the world. If they would announce that, they would get clowned by people that don't even care about the game. So would probably not be the best advertisement.
The end of April. So realistically, they'd get anywhere from as little as 1 week to up to maybe 3 weeks at most to prepare for the season and start competing with major stakes. You know what I'm saying? And that just feels a bit rushed and unfair to the competitive scene. And honestly, it's just like disappointing for all of us to have to wait that long to see major change come to the game. And again, like I'm not a developer or anything like that. It's like I'm trying to like rationalize like why you don't want to do an update with balance changes in March. It just doesn't make sense to me. Oh, because the season 2 update is going to be all big and grandiose. Like, yeah, that's all the more reason why you should spoon feed a little bit of it before, like kind of drip feed us.
I'm gonna get absolutely shredded while I wait for Tekken 8 season 2.
Change, as opposed to just doing like,
bro, I be very real with you, and this is advice I have for everyone, yeah? Because you got to understand, I was a dude that was playing this game 7 hours a day like a job, right? I don't do it anymore because I can't. I don't enjoy it. But you don't need to do, especially because you don't make no money with the game. Hear me out. Don't play this game for the next 2 months too much. Really, I am serious. Because what? You're gonna destroy your... like every person has like just that much as he can take. And if you keep pushing this point on and you don't enjoy it already, you're gonna screw up your like positive feedback for season 2. If it is even maybe not that bad, or if it becomes a bit better, you will be so fed up that you cannot enjoy it anyway. So just take a break from the game. Now is really the time to take the a break from this game. If you don't make no fucking cent with this game, if you're not a pro player, if you are feeling miserable, like I talk with people, they say they feel miserable after playing this game. They feel like they psychologically somehow it's fucks their day. They get upset, they get angry, they don't like who they become when they play this game. Brother, stop playing the game for a while. It's okay. No one can play this game, honestly.
A giant one all at once, springing it on people and then immediately throwing them into the fire of Tekken World Tour 2025. I feel like that makes more sense. I don't know everything though, so what do I know? And like I said, it's kind of cool that they're taking into consideration this thing, but then it feels like you're doing the exact opposite with this. You know what I mean? Because again, like the new and this is even crazier because like, yeah, okay, the Europe Cup finals, I don't know when the Japan tournament is, but it's like a week from now, and it'd be a few changes, but nothing like super massive, you would imagine, right? Who really knows what they had in store? But like this is massive, and I guess they would have more time here, but it just still feels like counterproductive to the whole point they made here in the first point. I don't know, maybe I would disagree, but I don't really understand. Here's the other thing to consider and keep in mind as well. This amount of time, like this gap in updates basically is going to make a lot of people not play the game, whether that's temporary or permanently. I've already seen people very distressed and, like I said, anxious, restless or whatever, waiting for these updates, and we're waiting bare minimum 2 more months to get those changes and those updates and see something fresh with the game. And you know, one could argue that like, hey,
I think Bandai Namco made a mistake in prioritizing or realizing the weight of two things. One thing is you can update the game earlier and make a fringe minority of the Tekken community unhappy, which is the pros, and they just need to suck it up for 2 months that they play a tournament without having lapped so much. Or you destroy your game by upsetting everyone. What they effectively have done is making the game unenjoyable for many people, and I'll be straight with you. It's not like people drop the game and then come back in hopes for it to become better. Like, that's not for everyone. That's for the people that are already kind of addicted to it. But they want to appease to casuals. And when they leave them alone and they drop this game, they're not gonna look back. The market is full with games. There is Fatal Fury. There is Street Fighter. There is fucking a new Bleach fighting game coming out. There is like this game, that game. Like, why would they come back to Tekken 8 at this point? I don't understand. So instead of like not bringing out the update, yeah, they have just fucking postponed it because of 2 dumbass tournaments who no one gives a shit about in the first place. Wait a minute. There is no pro play if the people drop the game. No one is there to watch you idiots. What, you can all meet up in that sweaty room where you play your fucking tournament and you all know that what I'm saying is the truth, they all stink. And then you go there, you all stink, play your fucking game, and no one gives a shit, the casuals are gone, the game is in the bin, but you played the game with enough time to adjust. You didn't need to play under a new patch. Yeah, congratulations. Nice priorities set.
The game dropped January of last year, so season 2 should have started January of this year. Okay, that's not necessarily how it works. Fine, cool. Okay, so like February, March, oh well, they got these major tournaments that are happening. We don't want to shake the game right before that. Oh, okay, cool. Like March, April, well, you know, well, season 2, we're gonna do a whole big thing there, so we don't want to, you know, we don't want to shake things up too much before then because we're just gonna do it all over again. And it's like it just doesn't add up. This doesn't add up. And then you kick off the world tour May 9th. I think what the effect that this is going to have is that a lot of players are going to drop the game, whether temporarily or permanently. You know, I think, you know, with things like Marvel Rivals
thank
out,
you, Sebos.
whether it's like a general multiplayer game like that, or even just other fighting games on the horizon like City of the Wolves or Virtua Fighter, which, by the way, I don't think a game like Virtua Fighter is going to kill Tekken. I've seen that nonsense going around. I don't think it's going to be more popular or bigger or better than Tekken. I think that game's going to be much more niche in comparison. Don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to hate. I would love for the game to succeed, to be massively popular. I want all fighting games to succeed, but I just think it's unrealistic to expect that game to like overthrow Tekken.
What, Fatal Fury? Or what did he say? Fatal Fury? Bro, Fatal Fury is a 2D game. Or did he say Virtua Fighter? Ah, yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense, yeah. Let me think. Can Virtua Fighter potentially overthrow Tekken 8? Yes, I think so. 100% could. Yeah, if they do it right. If they make it grounded, martial arts, interesting to play, fluid look, new like sound effects, etc., and a good 3D feeling for all the Tekken players that feel neglected by Bandai Namco, then yeah, I can totally see why Virtua Fighter would overtake Tekken. The only reason that he thinks that Tekken has like such a stronghold on the 3D fighting game community is that there is no competition. It's a monopoly. And a monopoly always produces the worst results for the consumers. Since they have no one to... You know this I don't give a shit t-shirt from Harada? Well, guess what would happen if Virtua Fighter has a major success? That attitude would disappear quickly. Very quickly, don't ask me for shit. Then he would ask all of a sudden, yo, how can we shit? They are fucking us up. Yeah, somehow this is not working, this philosophy. And then they would change it. But now they feel like, yeah, they have no option anyway. And then when you say like something about the game, he makes no sense. Then the developer of the game tells you on Twitter, which is really, I can't believe, but really this happened. Hey, play the older Tekken without heat then. That's the response you get. This is how arrogant they have become. So I'm very happy for Virtua Fighter that it gets a new joint. I hope it becomes good. And if that game is good, it would be good for the Tekken community also indirectly.
City of the Wolves, similarly. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I think that one has a better chance, but they're vastly different games. And the thing is,
Harada
well,
said that.
most
Wallah,
Tekken
Wallah,
players,
Harada said that. Someone said, like, tweets went viral about Heat and how the system is not fun, and they changed the identity of Tekken. And he said, if you don't like Heat, play the older Tekken without Heat. Thank you, Harada.
are like hardcore Tekken players where they don't dabble in too many other, at least when it comes to the competitive scene. Like, a lot of them don't really dip their toes into too many other fighting games. They kind of just focus on Tekken, really. So it's not too much of a concern. But when it comes to your casual player base, which makes up the majority of the player base, you will lose a lot of players. I am somebody who has already gone through my phase, right? You guys know that on this channel, I had like a 3 or 4 month span, give or take, where I wasn't playing the game and I wasn't uploading any content on it, whether that's because I was burned out or whatever. I didn't like hate the game or anything like that, but you know, game came out, shiny new toy, had my fun, was having a blast, grinding, learning, growing, creating content with people, everything like that. It was all well and good. Everything was going great. But eventually, you know, I kind of like wandered off, ventured off into other things, playing some other games, just cracking my time elsewhere. But since I love fighting games and since I love Tekken, I eventually found my way back.
So, interesting. So he is like a rather casual dude, but more invested than the like casual, because obviously he streams, puts more time into it, etc. So he left the game, came back, left it again, and now he don't know what to do because there's no balance.
And so this 2-month waiting period isn't going to be as harsh on me as it's going to be for other people. Don't get me wrong. I'm feeding for some updates too. I got some changes I want to see. You know what I'm saying? I'd like to see things get changed up. Is my favorite characters going to get buffed, or are my least favorite characters going to get...
You know why he is so relaxed while talking about this and why we are so vexed? It's because he has no deep attachment to Tekken 8. You know what? When Tekken goes downhill, he can just say, you know what? Fuck it. I play Sparking Zero. I don't care anyway about Tekken. And this is what I want you to also internalize. Distance yourself emotionally a little bit from Tekken. Because after getting... It's like having a girlfriend, sorry to say, and then like getting fucking betrayed over and over again, and then being on the 5th time, and after she sucked Tyrone's dick, and then you tell her, yeah, but can you please not do it again? And then your friends try to tell you, bro, she's for the streets. Nah, she's gonna change, and I need to just wait and be patient, and I was the mistake and stuff like that. No, it's not your mistake. Tekken 8 is not your mistake. Just detach yourself a little bit from it, play it less, let them feel that you don't like it anymore. But if you like an addict, kind of like a fentanyl addict, you know it's bad for you, but you keep consuming because you are kind of in a very unhealthy relationship with the game. I was there. I know how it is. It's fucked up. I want you to detach a little bit. Detach a little bit from Tekken. It's important. Tekken 8 is very horseshit. It's unhealthy for you. I've been into multiple Discords over the course of the last year. Every Discord that I go into feels like I am on the Gaza Strip, sorry to say, or some sort of war zone. Everyone is insulting everyone. This guy is screaming, oh my god, what is this character? This makes no sense, blah, blah, blah. Everyone is losing their shit on a daily basis, and then they are surprised they feel miserable and depressed. So don't do this to yourself. They don't deserve it.
Nerf, that's all some of the most exciting and fun things about fighting games in these updates. You know what I'm saying? Like I like seeing things shift, and it's fun.
We're talking about a video game, by the way.
There are people
yeah,
who've been playing nonstop since the game came out, and you know, or people who've also taken breaks, and that they might...
Did I say you feel what I'm saying? Damn, I fucked up, but I only said it once then.
Take a break that they don't come back from. Every time you have a fall off in the amount of players, which is par for the course, like every game's going to decline in players over time, and then you'll have spikes when there's big updates or announcements or reveals or whatever like that, and it dips down again. That's normal, that's natural. But every time you have that big fall off, there are players who come back and there are players who never come back. And I think in these next 2 months you're going to have some players who just don't come back. Most of them will, hopefully, right? But I do think that you are encouraging people to explore other games in the meantime while you're postponing these updates for like this one. Again, I understand the February thing, the mid-March one, it just doesn't make sense to me. I just really don't get it. And so
this is the Steam charts. Yeah, Tekken 8 reviews 68%, but obviously game of the year, fighting game of the year and everything. 6,522 players right now. What? 2,400? How can it have such an insane dip on this day specifically? Wow, that is low.
It's I don't know. It is what it is, I guess. But yeah, I mean, like,
maintenance. Okay. Maintenance. That makes sense. You're right. It was maintenance. It was maintenance.
There's probably some things that I said in the first take that I'm forgetting now, or some other points I kind of wanted to bring up or acknowledge. But it's just kind of weird to me how they're moving in the timeline of events. I know this is very disappointing news for a lot of players, myself included, and even more so for people who've just been playing nonstop and just don't really agree with the current state of the game and really want to see change. And you know, it's just 2 more months at least. But hey, maybe season 2 gonna be fire. Maybe that Tekken talk will show us that gas, that heat, give us some previews, get us everybody all excited. And you know what I mean? Optimism, you know what I'm saying? Optimism, copium, if you want to call it that, hopium, whatever the case may be. I want to give him benefit of the doubt. That usually comes back to bite me, but it is what it is. Yeah, I'm just gonna wrap it up there. You guys let me know your thoughts in the comment section down.
All right, good video.